What if I told you that you could take basic hash browns and turn them into this crispy, cheesy, stuffed masterpiece on the Blackstone? I'm showing you exactly how I make stuffed hash browns that are the next level. Hi friends, and welcome to my kitchen. The first thing we're gonna do is get our potatoes ready and all the other ingredients for our stuffed hash browns. I'm going to be using russet potatoes for the hash browns. I have my Bravo food processor here. You can use a box grater if you want to. I can flip this either way to the fine or to the coarse. I'm gonna do the coarser shred, and I'll cut these in half. And this thing works so fast, it's just unbelievable. Let's go rinse these. You may want to let these soak to get more of the starch out, but I'm just going to rinse them off. Some people totally skip this step. I have a white cotton towel here I'm going to lay on that plate, and then I'm going to squeeze out some of the water out of the potatoes, and then I'll dump them out here on the towel. I think I'll just cover these up and let them kind of dry. I'll squeeze them out before I use them. We'll come back to these when we're ready to use them. It's time to prep our meat and vegetables. I have some mushrooms. I cheated and I'm using the canned mushrooms. And then I have some green peppers that I had frozen. If you're using frozen green peppers, make sure that you squeeze the liquid off of them before you use them. I'm gonna start with chopping my onion. I'm gonna finely dice this. Let the tears start flowing. I like lots of onions. We'll move on to the meat. You can use any kind of meat you like. Break this up a little bit. And then we're gonna use some ham. You don't have to cut this part off, I always just do. The doggies love it for a snack. I'm going to cut these into really fine cubes. Do you guys want a treat? There you go. There you go. Here. I think I have everything here that I need. I'll grab a couple of spatulas here as well. And I got my potatoes and they dried out pretty well just being in the towel, so I didn't have to squeeze them out. And then I have some of my homemade seasoned salt, regular salt, pepper, some cheese and sour cream, and the rest of the toppings that we already prepped. Something I almost forgot is some bacon grease. I'm pretty sure we're gonna need more oil for cooking the hash browns. You can use any kind of oil you want though. I decided to take my roasting pan to use as a lid to make sure that the hash browns get all the way cooked. And I'll start them out this way. And it takes up most of the griddle. So because of that, I'm gonna start my potatoes first. So I'm just gonna take some bacon grease and get it here on the griddle. I'm gonna try to keep it over here to this side as much as I can. You wanna make sure you have plenty of oil on there. This griddle is very hot. I cranked the griddle up all the way. Now I'm going to get my potatoes on here. We will definitely have leftovers. I'm going to kind of scatter them out just a little bit and cook them just a little bit, and then I'm going to pull them in to more of a rectangle. I think I'll put a little bit of bacon grease here on the top to melt through because I don't think I have enough oil on there. It'll just kind of melt through. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Let it cook for just a little bit. All right, let's check these. I'm gonna kind of square these up a little bit now. Some of these edge ones are getting a little bit too brown, but not too bad. I'm gonna turn this side down just a little bit. I think what I'll do is actually flip these. Yeah, these are getting too done. If you're like me and you had your griddle up way too high, you can just kind of flip them around here and get the hash browns off the bottom. Get your griddle turned down. I'm gonna get my meat going over here. The bacon needs to be cooked. Now we'll try to square these hash browns back up and flatten them out here. I'm gonna try to loosely put this lid on just to help retain some heat. I'm gonna go ahead and get our onions on here. Another thing I forgot is to put spices on my potatoes. So I'll do that right now. You can put as much or as little of whatever spices you want. And the same with the meat over here. Use whatever your favorite meats are and vegetables. Let me know in the comments what your favorite toppings are for omelets or hash browns or anything like that. This is smelling so good. I think I'm going to get the ham on here also. Actually, I don't think we're going to need all this ham. So I'm just going to do a part of it. The potatoes are looking pretty good over here. They're not overcooking anymore now that I got the griddle turned down. Get some of these mushrooms on here and the green peppers. It's a good idea to check your hash browns before you put your toppings on and make sure that they're done. And these are. So we're going to put a layer of sour cream on the top here. And this recipe that I'm using is from a restaurant called Papa Bear's. And they make these mammoth size stuffed hash browns that they are famous for. It seems like they call it the grizzly or something like that. And it is so good. It says it's enough to feed 4 or 6 people, the ones they make. And the ones they make, they're like an inch thick of hash browns. So they pile it up there, they brown the bottom, and they put their sour cream on it. Let's get our cheese on here. There's no real recipe to this. You just kind of put as much or as little of each thing as you want. The nice thing is whenever we put them hot toppings on here, it's going to melt the cheese. So we're going to put our toppings on here. I actually think I'm going to turn this griddle off. I think I'll turn the right side off now too. Now we're gonna take and see if we can fold this over. Beautiful. Slide this back here. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get these on here without breaking the hash brown. If you make stuffed hash browns this big, you'll want 2 spatulas. Look at that. Look at all that goodness inside. Time to get this inside so that we can give it a try. I'm going to show you the inside of this. Look at that. And that looks so good. Well, let's see if this is as good as I remember it. I think I need to try one more bite from a different area that has more of the vegetables in it. The only thing it needs is a little more salt. Other than that, it is very good. It has been such a long time since I've made this. Many things, as you saw as I was cooking this, I forgot. Normally I make smaller ones, so it's a little bit easier, but these did turn out great. I would love it if you would subscribe so that you can see some of the future Blackstone videos that I plan to make. I hope that you're all having a wonderful day. Bye for now.